Grace and peace. So I wanted to talk today about a topic that is, and that was at one time, it was really heavy on my mind. And I know that a lot of individuals that look like me, a lot of African Americans, a lot of black people in America, man, they still have these thoughts. They still don't understand, why would God, a loving God, allow slavery to happen? Why would he allow a people to be subjected to another people and atrocities be committed, horrendous atrocities, allow them to be committed if he loved these individuals, and so, that was a question that I always had.
1841, New Orleans, ground zero for the slave trade.
How much?
It's auction day, the day every slave fears the most. In the first half of the 19th century, over 500,000 slaves are sold at auction. It's a business worth $2 billion to the Southern economy. Since the cotton boom, the value of slaves has skyrocketed. Now men cost $1,000, women $800, children $500. Solomon Northrop, an educated free man from the North, was kidnapped into slavery.
Go, boy, you come over here.
He would make us hold up our heads, walk us briskly back and forth, while customers would feel our hands and arms and bodies. Make us open up our mouths and show our teeth, precisely as a jockey examines a horse which he is about to barter for or purchase. Scars upon a slave's back were considered evidence of a rebellious or unruly spirit and hurt his sale.
Take your top off.
90% of all African Americans are slaves. 4 million men, women, and children.
We had based this country on everyone having inalienable rights to freedom and equality, and yet we created a system of abject persecution.
Slaves are fattened for auction, like livestock. Dark-skinned men are bought for the fields, light-skinned women for the house. Traders lie about their ages, even dye a slave's gray hairs.
For the plantation owners, it was like just going to your local supermarket to get sugar or flour. They had become so desensitized to the humanity of the slave that they did not see them as human beings.
Buyers demand the most fertile slaves for breeding. The most expensive are light-skinned teenage virgins. Rape is common. Eliza's from a state plantation. She's being sold with her 2 children, Emily and Randall. In Louisiana, it's illegal for children under 11 to be taken from their parents.
Boy, come over here.
It happens all the time.
140 years is not a really long time in the context of history. So it's hard for me to believe that blacks didn't have any rights here. They weren't treated as human beings. They were treated like animals, essentially.
Sir, please.
All right, you go. There's your business.
Don't worry. Oh, my life.
Over half the sales at auction will tear a family apart.
If you've ever been ate, to think of being separated from your mother and your father and sold and you'll never see them again. the horror of that, the poignancy of all of that, and yet that's the kind of thing that happened across the South up until the end of slavery.
Okay, my final offer. 1,000 for that man. Yeah. 900 for that man. The woman there, $700.
Please, buy my child. Sir!
I have seen mothers kissing for the last time the faces of their dead offspring, but never have I seen such an exhibition of intense grief as when Eliza was parted from her child.
Come on, here you go.
Gather around. We have our auction to have this buck cracker. This big buck cracker is very healthy, very strong, from Western Europe. I would like to start my bidding at $1,000.
I'll give you $1,500 for him.
Mr. Jackson, you can't keep coming up here trying to buy my product before everybody else.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let me ask him.
I'll give you $1,600 for him.
Oh, well. Seems we have ourselves an auction here.
1,700.
1,800.
1,850.
1,900.
3,000.
Ooh-wee. My cracker worth 3,000? 3,000 going once? Mr. Wayne? Going once? 3,000 going twice?
What is your name, boy? Say it!
They're like wild beasts of the field. A dog has a higher intellect.
Let me hear you say it. What is your name?
These Ophidian rebellions are proving to be a big problem.
You better learn to say your name, boy.
Slaves have more in common than differences. Therefore, we must use their differences and divide them.
We're not warriors. We're like this. We are individual. We are weak. We're powerless. But if we were to gather our strength like this, then we will know true power.
I use fear, envy, and distrust. We must use sex, status, color, eye and hair color against them. Pitch your field slaves against those that dwell in the house. Those are just some of the differences I will show you in order to gain total control.
Boy, you better get that proud European nonsense out of your head.
You are doing it all wrong. It's causing you to lose money. You invited me here to give you a foolproof method to gain total control of your slaves. It is quite simple. 3 keys. Even a child can use and gain the results. The slaves have more in common than differences. Therefore, you must use their differences and divide them. I use fear, envy, and distrust. You must use sex, color, status, eye and hair color against them. Pitch your field slave versus those that dwell in the house. These are just some of the differences I will show you in order to gain total control of your slaves.
Hey, Aku Doctora, whatever thought you have in your head, you better get it out now.
If I'd
The love spiking adrenaline runs through my veins. I fear no man.
You best not let Master hear you talking like that. You're stubborn like a mule. I see those lashes didn't get through that thick skull of yours.
Do you know what is more powerful than trust?
Love is more powerful than trust.
No. Distrust. Speech your old pale skin versus your young pale skin. Must use your blonde hair, blue eyed slave versus your dark hair, dark eyed slave. Male against female. Our envy, my friend, is more powerful than respect, admiration, or adulation.